Hey, friends. Well, here we are, faced with another Thanksgiving. I never look forward to it for two reasons. First, I spend Thanksgiving at my sister's place, where the whole family gathers for another disastrous dinner you'd think Irwin Allen produced. Last year, the turkey was so disgusted by events, it climbed back up into the freezer and slammed the door shut behind it. I feel you, turkey. I feel you. The second reason I don't look forward to Thanksgiving is that, well, my sister's cooking is unpalatable, so are all of the Thanksgiving movies on the menu. Now, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. As I do every year, there are no good Thanksgiving movies. That is, movies about the Thanksgiving gathering. Why? Because these movies invariably devolve into arguments, relitigating the past, clashing personalities, and people from different generations out of sync with the others, and everyone winds up mad, angry, bitter, hurt, sad, humiliated, you name it. Filmmakers believe that all of that makes for good drama or comedy, usually leading to a movie where the meal is ruined with yelling, screaming, fighting, food fights, and a ruined turkey, either burned to a crisp or falling on the floor. That's what happens in real life. So why would anyone want to watch a movie about it? A movie should be an escape from all that crap, not a reminder of it. Ugh. So, to prove my point, again, about there being no good Thanksgiving movies, I have another selection of ptomaine turkeys for you. So let's serve 'em up. You've gotta gather with family on at least 2 holidays, right? And you've gotta put up with them. Thanksgiving can be hard, and Christmas can be hard, so why not combine the two? That's what they did in this one, A Thanksgiving Christmas from 2023. This must have been produced by the president of a department store chain, and probably premiered before Halloween. Ugh. Well, in this one, we meet One Time, that's his name, One Time, who's kind of a hustler. He shows up at his ex-sister-in-law's house because he has nowhere else to stay. Sometime in the past, he cheated on his wife, apparently, and she divorced him. Now, of course, years later, he has regrets. And he has a doctor's report that gives him pause, and his own mortality hits home for him. So he cooks up the idea of combining Thanksgiving with Christmas, so the family can celebrate both at the same time. Over the course of the movie, we meet One Time's other wacky family members, such as his brother Three Time. Comedy ensues. Now, I won't lie, I really wanted to like this one. There's a lot of old-fashioned riffing in some scenes as the characters just play off of each other and almost improv or ad-lib comedic material to keep the comedy going. And surprisingly, that was all right. That was fun. I was reminded of guys like Manton Moreland or old-school comedians like him. I liked the characters and the general situation. I liked the guy playing One Time, and I liked his sister-in-law, and I liked Three Time, too. But our hero inexplicably vanishes from the last quarter of the picture, which leaves everything up in the air. So the movie never really lands. It's like when the star of a popular sitcom leaves or dies, and the supporting cast has to carry on and try to keep the show going. It almost felt like the lead here, Rodney Perry, had another commitment, and this picture ran over time, so we had to leave. I don't know. It doesn't work anyway. They also sort of shove in a religious element later on that doesn't quite gel given the first half of the picture. There's also a dash of horrible CGI, and the interiors look super cheap and super bland. It's too bad. A Thanksgiving Christmas had a lot going for it. But you could say the same thing for a turkey, who won the blue ribbon for Best in Show at the county fair. That blue ribbon won't save the turkey from the farmer's axe around Thanksgiving Day. Next up, why not go old school for The Thanksgiving Treasure from 1973. This was part of a series of TV movies set in the 1940s about a widower, his daughter, and her grandmother. Mostly focused on the daughter. There's an Easter one, and I think one for Valentine's, and the most famous of the four was The House Without a Christmas Tree. Here, it's time for Thanksgiving, so the dad is having a feud with a crotchety old man over some work the grouch never paid him for. The little girl is in school hearing about how the Pilgrims made friends with the Indians at Thanksgiving. So she stupidly decides to bring this old geezer a Thanksgiving dinner to try and broker a peace deal through the magic of Thanksgiving, and get to ride the grouch's horse if she can. This isn't really new or anything. The kids in this are somewhat annoying, but not as bad as they could have been. They're at their worst when the movie opens up and the girl and her best friend try to top each other in a running string of really dumb, bad jokes. And it was all shot on videotape, which was a weird choice, so it looks like it was made for public television or something. The cast is more interesting than anything else about this one. Jason Robards plays the dad, always nice to see him, but he doesn't have much to do, really. The grouchy old guy was played by Bernard Hughes. He's served a little better here. You might know him best as Dumont in the original Tron. See, there he is wearing his dildo hat. But more interesting still is the grandma. She was played by Mildred Natwick, a character actress who had a long career, appearing in The Trouble with Harry, Barefoot in the Park, Dangerous Liaisons, just all kinds of things. Then wound up in this. Anyway, you may know her best as the widow Victor McLaughlin was hot for in The Quiet Man, the John Wayne Maureen O'Hara movie set in Ireland. Well, this one is nothing new and kinda bland. Not unlike my sister's mashed potatoes. The movie is focused on this little girl, and she borders on annoying, and the videotape look only serves to point out this was made on the cheap. So look, Thanksgiving is filled with horrors, right? Like for me, my Uncle Rusty will be there, and no doubt he'll be gloating over the election results and braying about it and conspiracy theories and all of that. And then my nephew, or niece, he still hasn't decided. He never met a shower he wanted to spend any time in. He's got the funny colored hair and the magic pronouns and all of that crap. So when the two aren't busy arguing, he'll have his face shoved in his phone, twittering or tweeting or whatever the hell the Twitter kids do now. If I had to sit next to one of them, I guess I'd rather sit next to my Uncle Rusty. In spite of his stupidity and award-losing personality, at least he doesn't stink to high heaven. So how about this, a Thanksgiving horror movie? This one is Amityville Thanksgiving from 2022. The name of the town alone ought to clue you in that murder is on the menu. God, I spent money on this. Ugh. This movie ostensibly takes place in Amityville, home of the famous House of Horrors from the Amityville Horror. It's about an unlicensed couples therapist who's creepy as all get out. He lures couples to an isolated cabin, which appears to be right in the middle of town, and then they disappear. There's a demonic angle to this, but by the time the movie gets around to that, you won't care. This is cheap crap. Much of it is rambling dialogue shown via videotape recordings. The acting is the worst. It feels like the lines are just made up on the fly. This one is no fun whether you're into the horror genre or not. It's best avoided, like my Aunt Betty's special vegan food she insists on having instead of turkey and stuffing. It's plant-based, so she spends a lot of the time in my sister's bathroom crapping it up and bringing a reek from hell that makes you wonder what crawled up her butt and died, got resurrected, then died again. Ugh. Okay, so what about some animated Thanksgivings? They must be pretty good, right? Everybody likes cartoons. Well, how about a heaping helping of the Thanksgiving movie from 2020? See, it has a turkey and says it's about Thanksgiving and everything. Well, looks like this thing was seasoned with salmonella. In this one, Butterball the turkey helps save Thanksgiving from an evil parrot who stole Mrs. Claus's gem collection. Yeah, his beef is with Santa and Mrs. Claus, but is taking it out on Thanksgiving for some reason. He talks with an ent via his magic mirror on the wall while he makes his evil plans. Can Thanksgiving be saved? After watching this thing, I don't think it's worth it. It's all CGI and it's awful, awful, awful. An abomination if ever there was one. Remember a couple of years ago I reviewed this horror fest, this thing, the nuttiest nutcracker from 1999? Well, the CGI animation in this thing is just about as bad and charmless. There's only one name in the voice cast, so obviously if there were any other actors, they were too ashamed to list this thing on their resumes. And rightfully so. It looked as if whoever made this thing got hold of some random CGI characters and just shoved them all into this story. I mean, what the hell do parrots and dinosaurs have to do with Thanksgiving? So let's not give up. Yet. How about this cartoon, Turkey Day, also from 2020? Another discharge from the vomitorium. Here, Dracula tries to use his hypnotic powers on his friend Santa. Yeah, you heard that right, his friend. But Santa can't be hypnotized because magic and stuff, so Dracula hypnotizes the Thanksgiving turkey instead so he can ruin Thanksgiving, I guess. Oh, and Santa lives in a rocket ship for some reason. This was made by the same criminals who made the Thanksgiving movie. All right, you idiots. I have your names, and you won't like it. What the hell is the matter with you people? Ugh! Written by BC-14. What the hell is even that? A robot? An AI program? This garbage is the worst thing I have ever seen in my entire life. After watching your crap, I'd rather go to my sister's for Thanksgiving, and I hate doing that. For all the suffering I'll endure, at least it wouldn't be as awful as watching anything else made by you people. Okay, it's not quite as bad as Alex Kurtzman's Star Trek, but it is worse than Cats 2019, and that's saying something. Well, there you go. I believe I have once more proven that there are no good Thanksgiving movies. If I had to recommend one of these, it would be The Thanksgiving Treasure. It's bland and inoffensive and nothing really new, but it's not as god-awful as some of this other stuff. Anyway, I hope your Thanksgiving is happy and not crappy. Me, I'll have a 2-liter jug of Pepto-Bismol with me. Maybe I should bring 2. Yeah, I wouldn't want to run out. Ugh, Thanksgiving, am I right? I just don't know. Ugh, Thanksgiving. Joe.